What's good, Beast Hounds? I'm Kit Kinraid, and this is a pull-up mate. This is a pull-up mate. This is a pull-up mate. And this is also a pull-up mate. I bought 4 of them. So I've had these about 4 months. I've been using them with my lads, so they have been used, assembled, disassembled, chucked in the van, chucked in the unit 3 times a week for about 4 months, and I think that puts me in a good position to give you a good, accurate review on them. They're great, they are really great, but they are great with caveats. I bought them because the park that we train at decided to cut down this tree, and only this tree that we've been using for the past 4 years to hang rings off, and the only tree in the whole damn park that is suitable for more than 1 set of rings. So I'm just saying I think I know a little bit about persecution. I considered buying a bunch of these, and I did take this one quite a few times, but assembling it and disassembling it got real old real fast. Then I looked at these. Sturdy, yes. Pricey, yes. Effort, yes. No thanks. So I'm 100% these things target audience. I need a collapsible pull-up bar or several, and I'm already taking a ton of parallettes with me, so if these do that as well, then I'm saving a lot of effort. So firstly, I was worried that these might be a bit flimsy, you know, with me chucking them in the van with weight plates and yokes and kettlebells and all sorts of heavy stuff. I was worried that the tube might get crushed and then it would be useless. And I was very careful to begin with, and I've become less and less careful, and they are still absolutely fine. Like a couple of scratches, a couple of chips in the paint, but I could not care less. I would say ruggedness, great, 8 out of 10. I have started to notice a slight wrinkle around some of the holes, like a little bit of a puckering, I guess, but they're not getting worse, they still fit, I'm not worried. Build quality, the tolerances are actually really great. Like, you really have to perfectly align these holes to get the pins through, but that sounds like admin, but less play means less wobble, which means more fit for purpose. So build quality, I say like 8 out of 10. And fit for purpose is unfortunately where we run into some problems. You think it's called a pull-up mate, you can do pull-ups on it, so surely 10 out of 10, right? Right? I tend to use these on grass and even on like perfectly manicured lawns. These things wobble and shake like crazy. I noticed in the adverts they've always got some half-naked buff dude doing all sorts of cool moves on it, but they speed through the transitions or they put an effect on it so you can't see it shaking like a dumping dog. On solid ground, these are a lot better, but still not rock steady like in the adverts. For pull-ups, not such a big deal, you know? We do pull-ups on rings all the time, ring shake, that's fine. For pull-ups, I give these a 7 out of 10. If you want a straight bar, if your house won't let you put up a doorway bar, this is a good option. Hey pup. This will allow you to do pull-ups, and I believe that pull-ups should be a foundational movement in any program. It is the deadlift of the upper body, and you should be doing them. I won't sugarcoat it. Dips on these do not feel great. It moves from side to side sometimes in an extremely unpleasant way, and the grips are just too wide. They absolutely trash my shoulders after too long, like I'm feeling it now already. And I don't have a particularly narrow frame. I've also tried it with my whole bunch of boys, and everyone agrees, too wide, too unstable, ass. The advantage of a parallettes is that these handles want to stay together, whereas sometimes with these, when you're doing one will try and kick out. But the disadvantage is that because they stay together, it's like doing dips on an earthquake bar, which is not conducive to ideal hypertrophic conditions. You feel? Natty as they are, 4 out of 10. However, you can get these canny little adapters that bring that grip width in. Even with the shake, with these on, I would give this a 7 out of 10. So many parks, machines, racks, they put that grip out too wide, wrecks people's shoulders. With these, I can get super deep, and it feels good. Even with the shake, 7 out of 10. Get these if you're getting this. You can also do push-ups, levers, rows, handstands, leg raises, and muscle-ups if your form is clean enough. Mine is not. Stability is always pretty much going to be your main limitation, but if you don't have another option, and in a lot of cases there isn't a better option than this, you know, training with limitations is a lot better than not training, so I rate it. Especially when you consider that I bought every single one of these on the secondhand market, and the most I paid was £40, and that was for this one with the bag and the dip arms. The dip arms are essential, make sure you get those. This one and these two are the Pull-Up Mate 1. This one is the Pull-Up Mate Zero, I guess. It was the prototype, the beta. This is exactly what Gravity Fitness are selling as their portable pull-up bar. So if you're thinking about getting one of those, I'll tell you about the major improvement that the One made that is a bit of a pain in the ass with the Zero. When you are assembling and disassembling it, there are no pins to stop the arms flopping about and potentially conking you out. Now, the way to get around that is to build it upside down and then flip it over. Bit of a pain in the ass. Potential benefits of this design are that the feet are less wide, so if space is of a premium for you, that might be a good thing. Also, this leg being completely flat against the floor means that this piece can't flex. So if you're a heavier guy, it should be more stable in the sagittal plane. Potential downside of the design is that it's less stable in the lateral plane, and also the bar is closer to the floor because it's not got this little rise. You're not going to hang straight-legged off the taller one of these anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Talking of heavier guys, the weight limit on this thing is 110 kilograms. If I am not on top of my diet, which I am not, because I've just discovered a beer called Schofferhofer, good Lord, I sit around 90 kilograms, which means I can safely do a 20 kilogram weighted pull-up, which makes it look like this. It's not ideal, but it's not a deal breaker, you know? I'd like to be able to do more, but there's always other options, aren't there? Another couple of limitations. One, the grip is much thicker than you are probably used to, which means that grip is going to become a limiting factor. Also, it is completely unknurled, untextured, so that doesn't help either. It's not quite fat grips fat, but it's close. You might be thinking, great, that means I'm going to get fatty forearms while I'm at it. And you are right, but you might also get less of a fatty back than you intended. And, you know, that's not ideal, although you could just wear grips. Another thing, because the unknurled grip, if you're the right kind of psycho like I am, you will not find this pleasant to use in the rain. It is slippy and frustratingly so. So from Gravity Fitness, these are £130, and from Pull Up Mate, these are £110, plus £40 for the dip adapters, which you definitely need. I honestly think that that is a great deal. Think before you buy, though, whether you actually need it to move, because I spent less than £150 building this. It is just two 10-foot 4x4 posts with some post anchors on the bottom and this handrail that I found in a skip, and that's just cemented in, and this ain't going nowhere. And I can do everything that you can do on a Pull-Up Mate as long as I pair it with some rings, and you know, it's a nice excuse to go play in the garden. If you don't have an outside space, definitely go to a park, see if you can find a tree that you can hang some rings off, or, you know, swings, or a football bar. You can tell I don't do football. What's it called? A goal. Rings are great because they're cheap. You know, they're less admin, they're less physical space, less to carry around, easier to pack up, pack down, and also you're much less likely to end up selling to me for £30. But if you're looking for something versatile to train with, I genuinely think this is a great product. And now that you're aware of the limitations, I think you'll be really pleased. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you use to train, just as long as you get them gains. Be well.